right, well, pop quiz time. What do Charlie Coyle, a double chocolate cupcake, and Fazenda coffee all have in common?
I mean, I could go a couple places with that. My first thought is they are hot right now.
Well, close. Not much, except they all made me happy. For a Thursday night. Charlie Coyle for his performance. The double chocolate cupcake for, I guess, its performance with me as well. The 3-bite devouring. And that was a late addition to the meal at TD Garden. And
you went on a bit of adventure there. I knew you were up to something. I didn't know you were going to come back.
That's not an adventure. That's called a recon mission. That's as close as I've ever been to combat when I go seek and destroy for sweets. After, that's by the way, not a bad
masked up,
not a bad meal at TD Garden tonight for us. A little salmon, some brown rice, and some.
A little Caesar salad.
Caesar salad and some broccoli. Healthy enough that I can go seek out and destroy a double chocolate cupcake. And Fazenda coffee, a new partner with Morning Brew at Jaffe Razor that we will touch on a little bit later. But they've all have made me and are going to make me happy. Welcome into Morning Brew at Jaffe Razor.
They also cause movement.
That's another good point, too. Yes, they do. Hopefully not during Morning Brew. But the Bruins win 5-2 over the Buffalo Sabres. And in a game that I think you and I disagreed is not the right word. But I think...
No, it isn't.
I just think we felt a little different, which is different than disagreeing. Because I didn't feel this one was rock solid until 4-2. I just didn't. Because I've seen too many times when the Bees are up 2-1 or then it's tied 2-2 and you're like, oh, no, Razor. Come on. They put it away at 4-2 and I'm like, okay, now I felt good. You felt a little different, though.
Yeah. I did. I did feel – I feel like this group solidified that. And 2 months ago I would have been right with you. And you're there every game. That's a difference as well, where there's, not seeing it all the time. But I feel like they are in a really good spot right now. I feel like this group is in a really good spot with the trades, the additions they made, the recognition that they are down to the last 10 days of the regular season. Tuukka Rask, and you know what? You know what it actually is. Now that we're just I'm talking through it a little. It's Tuukka Rask. Tuukka Rask changes things for me. He really does. And at the end of the day, having Tuukka Rask healthy, playing the way he is, that changes. These Buffalo games feel like when he's here and playing, that changes.
All right, hold on. Let me take the opposite, just for argument of. Well, podcast and, argument. Well, then what about the other night in Buffalo when they give up, they lose 6-4? What do you is that just a one-off to you? And I'm not saying just Tuukka, the whole team. Because my comment is this, and it's more of a rhetorical question. Why the Rangers don't seem to have an issue putting away Buffalo in back-to-back games. I mean, why do the Bruins seemingly have a harder time with it? I want to. Look. I like this team. You do, but I really want to like him maybe as much as you do right now.
No, and I think one thing too is you go to Buffalo's better than their record shows in the last 15 games. They have a goalie, this Luukkonen. He's played well the last 4 games. He's had 40 shots every game. To go to your point of the Buffalo game, they played Buffalo 3 times in a row. They're not fighting for the lives the same way the Rangers are as well. The Bruins feel like they're in the playoffs right now, and they know they're in the playoffs right now is actually what the thinking. They're looking at things a little bit different. The Rangers needed those. The Rangers are done now. And I think that has a little bit to do with the Bruins are looking ahead. And when they play the Washington Capitals, that gets their antenna up. Playing the Buffalo Sabres doesn't. And that's just the way it is.
Okay. So, but we can then, listen, Bud, we can say the same thing when the Bruins play the New Jersey Devils then. You know what I mean? Like, they've had a hard time with them too. Mm-hmm. And a lot of other teams have not had a hard time with the Devils. So are we at the proverbial the Bruins play down to their opponent statement? Is that where we're at right now? I mean, look, they won in the third period. I don't want to harp on this too much because late in the third, oh my gosh, like, okay, they giddy up and go. But you didn't think anything at 2-2, like, yeah, I know the Bruins are a better team. But Reinhart scores, and I'm like, oh, no. Like, here we go.
And to your point, I have. I have, and we've talked. They're up, but no, not now. Not now. I and even if they didn't get the 2, if they were going to get 1 point tonight, that would. These guys are. The big boys are playing hockey right now. Marchand, Krejci, Hall, Bergeron, Rask, Pastrnak. You see what they've done the last 2 games. Those are the names that are scoring the goals. Those are the names that are showing up. And if those guys do that, they're hard to beat. They really are.
Well, instead of going through the game, let's talk about 2 or 3 of the big boys, as you mentioned. Let's start with Krejci. We'll work our way we'll go Krejci, Hall, and Coyle. And then we'll finish with Marshy, okay? Let's just start with Krejci again. We've talked a lot since these what are we at now? 9 games, 10 games, whatever it is.
I was going to say 9.
Since post, trade deadline. And David is a different player. He is.
Yeah.
He's a different player. And I watched him a few times literally kind of elevate off the ice in crossovers as he turned up the ice, went in on the forecheck one time. And I
knew you were going to go there. And we did not talk about this during the game. And we didn't do it at post game. We didn't say anything to each other during the game.
So he goes in on the forecheck.
I need to preface that.
The one I'm talking about is in the third period. And
100%. I know.
He literally took 3 power crossovers, 2 one way, the other, and he get it on the forecheck as if to say, "God damn it, I am going to get that puck as the heat-seeking missile F1, and I'm going to."
Yeah, and he poked the puck behind the net. He took the hit.
Exactly. That's called high-level. Give a crap, give a hell, give a shit meter. That's what that is right there, and that's saying, "Wait a second. I know if I get the puck, one of my other guys is now going to get the puck. The play's not going to die, and we're going to get an opportunity." And they did. They actually worked the cycle, and they got an opportunity. It is. I am through the roof watching him play right now because I'm so jealous. I've said this before on our show, but I am so impressed, jealous, mesmerized, in awe of his vision and his ability not to slow the game down, but the ability to see and do. He knew. I mean, if you really just want to go right to his game, his goal. Over to Hall. He knew ahead of time he was going to have to toe drag that in. Like he saw what was going to happen with Dahlin, and then Yoki Haru. I mean, it's breathtaking. And so to see him gallop and then to see him put that together with his skills is phenomenal.
1,000%. And it's a similar situation with Hall, where we talked about this the last game, where Hall is now forechecking more. He's now back because he knows if he does it, there's going to be reward. There's going to be something that comes of it. And Krejci's in a similar position now, and I think that's it. It's not a knock with all the other guys he's played with this season. It's not a knock with how he's thought about his game. But as a player, he recognizes there are opportunities all over the ice. He doesn't have to wait for the perfect opportunity. They literally think they have an opportunity all the time. And it's the same. We've seen it with the top line, the perfection line. The penalty, shorthanded. Marchand and Bergeron see opportunity all of the time. And Krejci, Hall, and Smith are doing the same right now. They recognize that every single shift is an opportunity, and it's fun to watch, and it certainly brought something different to the group. It really has.
One of my favorite statistics from the game on Thursday night, was the number 4, and it was 4 hits for Craig Smith. 4 hits. And so you talked about it during the second and third, or maybe it was post, I don't remember, after the game Thursday, about how Craig isn't scoring as much. Mind you, he had 2 assists in the game. But 4 hits. He has decided, I think organically, he said, you know what? I'm going to be – he was the first guy numerous times tonight in the forecheck, meeting and greeting the Buffalo defenseman behind the net. And so I'm so impressed with what he's done and how he has said, all right, I know I'm traditionally a shooter. He's still getting shots here and there. He only had 1 shot on goal, though, in this game, another attempt that missed the net. But he says, I'm going to be the first guy, or I'm going to be that guy. And so I love that. I love the way that he and Krejci continue to work well together. Hall, I still don't think, and you said this too, so I still don't think that they're at their ultimate level of chemistry. I just don't, and that's the great scary thing.
100%. And to touch on Smith, yeah, he hasn't shown up on the 2 highlight goals, but he's big there. Difference on that line. He's bringing a lot. And we talked. This is what we did talk about that second line, is that Hall isn't comfortable right now on the left wing breaking out of the zone. He's not quite sure where he needs to go instinctively with the puck when he gets it on the half wall. There's
too much watching.
It seems
too much watching. Too much.
1 or 2 times each period he gets it, and he's holding it for a split second longer, and it's caused a couple plays that have worked out. It's also caused a couple turnovers, and it happened in the first game he played. I remember the backhander that went across. It happened today where he coughed it up, and it's not a skill thing. That's the one thing where he hasn't built the chemistry yet. And if he does, with the defensive group that he's playing with he recognizes where Charlie McAvoy wants the puck, or Matt Grzelcyk, or more Carlo too, that right wing. It's more the right wing guy, because the left wing's giving it the left D is giving it to the left wing, and then it comes across the middle, or it's going diagonally across the ice over to Smith. He doesn't feel comfortable with that play right now. And when he figures that out, which he will, because they have great hockey sense and they're going to talk about it and look at it, that'll really accelerate things coming out of the zone.
I agree. He's looking instead of reacting. He's trying to. You can almost see.
He gets it.
You can almost see when he gives the puck away, like right away, he's saying, "Oh no, oh no, I did it again," or that type of thing. Like, can't do that. The look on his face was,
it is different, right? It is different than making a dumb play or an irresponsible play.
Right.
It's
not lazy.
It's oh shit, I didn't mean to do that.
It's not lazy,
and I'll figure that out.
Right.
Yes.
So exactly. 5 shots on goal for Taylor Hall in 16 minutes of ice time. 3 for 3 in the face-off circle. Speaking of the face-offs, Bergeron 15 wins, 9 losses. Another beautiful night in the circle on Thursday. In particular, on that first power play when he won 3 of 4 in the O-zone. Very key to the Bruins getting some success on the power play. But it was the second unit that scored. It was the Krejci shot that was huge, and he let go a heavy, heavy shot that gave the Bruins a 2-1 lead off the post, off the backside of Luukkonen, and then into the net. But I did think that the Bergeron faceoffs were key. All right, touched on Krejci, touched on Hall, a few other players we can touch on. We touched on Craig Smith. I thought that Pastrnak at times was really good in the game on Thursday, and other times I thought again he was trying to do it the other way. But I thought he had jump. I thought he had the swagger for a little while at times too.
he ended up with jump at the start, right? And I thought he was cooking at the start. The first 7-8 minutes, these guys, they all showed up. And it was a lot of the first line, but it felt like David got his goal, and it's like, okay, that's his one-timer, that's his spot. All right, he took a couple guys on one-on-one, drew a penalty, moving around, and then the first goal against the Bruins, it went back to making a poor decision inside of his blue line that cost his team. And it's frustrating because of again it's David Pastrnak, and you want him to have the puck and control the puck, but he's made bad decisions, and that's what happened for the most part throughout the rest of the game. After the start, after his goal, after that poor decision on the first goal that the Bruins gave up, it was a struggle for him again, and those are the things you want him to feel good. So we get excited, right, when he's smiling and he scores that one-timer. All right, here we go. And then the giveaway, and it seemed to put him back in a bit of a shell.
Well, one guy...
And he's the dash one on the line, as a forward. He's the only one who got a dash one.
6 shots, 2 more attempts, so 8 total attempts. 6 of them reached the net. I was very happy for that goal, like you said, off the front foot. Really had to open up the toe, point it towards the net, because the shot, the one-timer, was too far up front. Again, we don't have a video to show here or to break down, but if you get a chance, folks, go over that goal and slow it down, and watch how in front of him that puck comes, the pass from Bergeron. And it's not intentional, it's just part of the play. Bergeron actually checked off. He didn't look at Pastrnak. He did the old look ahead and then passed it over to him. And it was just about a foot too far in front. But the adjustment that Pastrnak made was excellent. You can see how he moves his body to open so he can get his stick blade on the ice more to make fuller contact. The ideal placement, and I'm not trying to, I'm assuming a lot of our listeners and viewers understand this, and some might not. For a one-timer, puck placement is very important, but in particular, it's best for a guy like Pastrnak, middle, almost maybe a teeny bit back, more so than in front, because in front, you're already on the upswing, in theory, when you're coming through on the one-timer. So you don't make as much contact. That's when you whiff a lot. That's when you push it wide an awful lot. It's almost a little easier to adjust when it's middle back of your stance. This one was very far in front, yet he contorted his body to open up. He's obviously got some good hips, open up that front toe, or that front foot, point it towards the net, and made really good contact. And so that was key.
It is, and I'll just add to that. And yes, everyone recognizes how hard that is, but I'll tell you how many, I bet I've seen 45 to 75 NHLers try and hit the puck off their front foot in practice on a 2-on-1 and fall on their face and slide into the corner. There aren't many guys that could hit it the way he did on that play. So it is impressive, and that's why you always want more out of him.
Right. And hopefully, again, this is the kind of thing that gets him going. Speaking of hopefully this gets him going.
Yes.
You know what? We like to have some the old coffee references and whatever. And, for obvious reasons. I think that this guy, I think he should get our first Fresh Cup, our first Fazenda Fresh Cup of the game award. Charlie Coyle, I'm talking about. What do you think about that?
Absolutely.
All right, so folks,
I'm cracking a cold brew can of Fazenda.
All right,
for Charlie Coyle, because it hasn't been easy for him.
Yeah,
it's not easy, and he's battling.
Well, he's really been battling. So let's tell you first of all, before we talk about Charlie Coyle, what is this Fazenda that we're talking about? Fazenda is our first partner. We're very excited about this. It is a coffee roasting company that came to us the other day and said, we're hockey fans. We're also Boston people. They're right in Dedham. And we'd love to be a partner with you guys. You guys are Morning Brew. You talk about coffee. We got all these roasts that we do. We're local. What do you think? And you know what? Sounds like a great opportunity to be partners with the people that are about quality and are about the listeners too. So let me just tell you a little bit about Fazenda. Fazenda. That's how you spell it. FazendaCoffee.com is where you find it. And if you go to FazendaCoffee.com/morningbrew, they're offering 15% off your first order. Razor, if people order, and by the way, if you order 3 bags or more, so $35 or more, you get fast free shipping. Here's the other thing, Razor, that they're going to be doing. And we're not there yet, but in the next, I'm going to say the next 2 days, okay? So maybe even with Saturday show, meaning the post game, the morning brew after Saturday's game, we're going to work out a special thing where fans order with Fazenda. They will get one of the limited edition morning brew mugs. But it's going to be a limited edition.
And folks, I worked really hard on this, folks. Billy does not want to ship. I talked to Fazenda. I got them. This has to be part of the deal because we need to ship mugs out, and I don't want to hear Billy complaining about postage and everybody. I don't want to hear. So this is part of the deal, and I pushed real hard. Fazenda's awesome, and we're gonna cook some mugs out there.
It's going to be limited edition. It's going to be We're figuring out all the details, but folks, we're just telling you, with the next show, I'm pretty sure we can pull this off after the next show. Listen in to Morning Brew, and we will tell you the details, but we're going to have a limited quantity of mugs to people that place orders with Fazenda, and they're going to be shipped out as part of it. And look, Fazenda, we got it in the background. They've got all different kinds of blends. They roast it all right here in the Dedham area. Strong stuff, medium stuff. They got the cans for Razor back there, the cold stuff, so he's happy. Check out Fazenda.com. These are the people behind coffees at Davio's restaurants and some of the other best restaurants in the Boston area. They're at Whole Foods. Fazenda.com. They're going to be with us for a bit. Great people. We thank them very much. We're going to have fun with this. Listen, I told you all along. We told you all along. This is something that Razor and I just started organically. We're just going with it. Let's see where it goes. Thank you to Fazenda for coming aboard. So let's give our first Fresh Cup award. Fazenda Fresh Cup, right? Brew a fresh one for Charlie Coyle. We got to get into it right now. Charlie Coyle really was good in this game. We both thought he was better in the last game, though. Not great, not perfect, but better. The hockey gods worked with him on this one because of his work ethic. You made a great point about his goal, which I just thought was a thing of beauty, that it may not or likely wouldn't have happened if he was playing center. By getting on the right wing, he's elevated in the zone more, he gets out more, and he can make this play happen, most likely more so.
Yes, and if we're going to pat each other on the back, you made an even better point that this team is better when he's at center ice.
He's going to have to be.
When he's the centerman on the third line. Yes, and we didn't really get to it tonight, but I can't agree more because he has to be. But today, the goal he scored gets him out into the neutral zone. And I think that maybe he has a default there. Maybe he has a default that I'm going to just, play my spot back in the center ice and deal with that and let those other guys score. But if he can get out there and get that confidence like he did in the neutral zone, he knocked the puck out of the midair as well. That's a legit play. And that's where we've all pined for his talents. He knocks it out of the air, drives the net, loves top glove, loves it, and he feels really comfortable making that happen. And he pulled it off again tonight to get the game winner. There's no reason why this doesn't give him confidence. That wasn't a fluke one that goes off his head and he just says, but that's actually worse sometimes. Yeah. Especially for a guy who's trying to make it work and making a lot of money. Man, that's kind of embarrassing. This one was a legit goal. That's a man goal, and let's let him run.
Yeah, and I'm okay with him staying on wing for a couple of more games. I actually am. But I think the last 4 or 5 games, I want him back at center. I want them to figure out with a motoring Charlie Coyle what they can do with that line. The right wing becomes still a bit of a conundrum without Andre Kasha, and I'm still not, I know he's skating more, whatever, but
I'm pushing for him. I'm on that. I'm on the optimistic hope train of him. I really am.
Yeah, not having it for a little while. But anyways, the line for Coyle was excellent. A goal, a +1, 4 shots, 3 takeaways. Really liked the 3 takeaways as well. Engagement factor was high. I know he said in post-game interview on Nesson about how he really wasn't concerned about not scoring, not thinking about the team. Can't tell you I fully believe that. I'm not saying he's a liar, and I'm not. I'm just saying he's a little fibber in the sense because he's a good teammate. The guys love him. He loves the team. He's saying the right thing, but he wants to score. He needs to score. He hears about it. It's local. You know what I mean? So good for him. And he earned the fresh cup because you know what? Go enjoy it. He really did. I mean, the way that he played in this game.
He gets the first.
And, look, that means a lot for that line. And, we saw some changing in the line. You saw Frederick on the left, and then early on, and then it was Ritchie. I'm curious to see if Bruce makes a change at all for Saturday. Now that DeBrusk's been out 2 games, do you put him in for Frederick? Even though Frederick, he only had a hit. His line was 10 minutes, no shots, 1 hit. I mean, it wasn't bad, but is that where you?
No, you put DeBrusk in.
I think so too.
Yeah. You have DeBrusk. You have this guy DeBrusk on right there, right on the cusp. Yes, because if you put DeBrusk in the lineup and you find a way to get him going, the top 12 so much better. And all respect to Frederick and what he's done and brought the energy and fought Tom Wilson and fought guy. He's not Jake DeBrusk's ceiling is so much higher.
I'm fine with Jake going in on the 4th line too. I am. I don't need to see him on the. You know what? I would go Corrali in the middle, Ritchie on the left, Coyle on the right again. Keep that line, and then I would just put Jake on that left on that 4th, line and say, hey, watch what Lazar's doing. Help him out. Get in Wagner. Get in there, and you know what, Jake? Grind your way through this. Do it.
Yeah, and for the same reason you have Coyle on the right, get him going. You can force him to get going. You can allow him, put him in a better situation. And the other thing, DeBrusk isn't going to be on the top 2 lines anymore. So now he can define his role for the next 6 games plus playoffs, and he can be a huge difference. And imagine what he can do against the third D pairings every single night on certain
if his
matchups.
work ethic is there. You're right. Mm-hmm. If his work ethic is evident, if it's there, he can.
Yep.
I'm with you.
Yeah, so it's a little exciting.
It is.
It's a little exciting.
Well, so it's a good night on Thursday for the Bruins. They win, the Rangers lose. The Rangers lost to the Islanders. So now the Islanders and Rangers play again on Saturday. So now the Bruins, if they win, are rooting for the Rangers to win. Now,
1,000%.
Because then you close the gap, or you actually catapult, you leapfrog the Islanders. So it's interesting. But the Bruins have to win. That's what they got to take care of. They got to make sure they do their job. Tuukka had a nice game on Thursday. Very stout, nice breakaway save on Dahlin after he came out of the penalty box. There were some other nice saves as well. We do not expect to see him afternoon game on Saturday. We don't know yet. Swayman or Halak. I don't know. I won't even put us on the spot for it. I don't know. I think all 3 guys are going to play before the end of the year. I do.
I agree. I think all 3 guys are going to play in the next 3 games, would be my guess. Mm-hmm. Bottom line is Tuukka's the number 1 goalie. Tuukka's the guy that this team plays best in front of. So he's the guy. And they'll sort the other stuff out.
So that's it. All right. I mean, we could go on and on. But overall, some of the big boys come through. Great to see the Krejci line flying again. Bergeron line comes through early in the game. Coyle comes through late in the game. Razor was more confident than I was.
5-on-5
5-on-5 scoring. They get a power play goal. We get a sponsor Imagine that. And there may be another one coming down the pike as well. It's fun times here. Folks, we're going to have fun with this. Seriously. Not even all kidding aside. I mean, look, we're in this to have a great time, provides, something that we love to do. But you know what? If we can make something happen out of this, we'd love it. So one more time, welcome Fazenda. I actually screwed something up. You can tell I'm not a good pitchman. Use more. If you go to their Fazenda.com, Razor, and use Morning Brew at checkout, you're going to get 15% off right now. That I can tell you. For 15% off, they got whole bean, they got ground, I've already used the Sumatra and the Guatemalan, and I love it. You can see the little mug in your background there too. A ton of stuff.
Yeah.
So,
I've got
you got the can right there. Erin's going to have, she's got a couple of medium roasts that they sent her as well. Give it a go. Folks, take a look too. But remember, last thing, come Saturday, I think Saturday, don't hold me to it, but I think so. We should have this thing set up where some mugs for people that order, they will be included with your order, but it's not going to be a lot of them. So we're giving you a heads up. So get ready, okay?
And I'm just going to add quickly, please go and get mugs. So Billy has a heart attack and has to order more mugs and deal with more mugs because he's the mug guy. It'll make my day. If he has to package mugs, it'll be awesome.
Wonderful. Just what I thought at 52 I'd be doing with my life. Billy, the mug guy. All right, Bruins win 5-2 over the Buffalo Sabres. Thick in the playoff race. A couple of more wins, and they are all done. That's going to do it for Morning Brew with Jaffe and Razor. We will talk to you after Saturday's game against Buffalo. Have a wonderful Friday. Enjoy your day, and enjoy your fresh, hot cup of coffee.